This is Miss Blue, and I'm at the Catch These Compliments Micro Festival 3-year anniversary, and I have Michael Ford himself, also known as the Hip Hop Architecture. Why do you call yourself the Hip Hop Architecture?
So I call myself the hip hop architect for two reasons. One, I needed to make myself sound different from every other architect. But two, I'm working on some of the most important projects for the culture right now. I'm leading the design of the Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx. So working with artists like Nas, Fat Joe, and also legends, Curtis Blow, KRS-One, people who really put the culture on their back. So I gotta call myself something different, the hip hop architect.
Definitely big game changers in music. So where are you from originally?
From Detroit.
From Detroit, and where are you at now? You're located still in Detroit?
No, so I'm now in DFW. So I'm in Dallas. I've been in Dallas for the past year.
Nice. What can you tell us about the Hip Hop Museum?
So the Hip Hop Museum is going to open in May of 2025. We had a few setbacks with the pandemic, but we're still going. We've got a traveling museum that's going on right now. It was here in Houston early November, I think like November 4th. And I think everybody should be looking out for it. It's a museum for all of us. It's not just a museum about rappers, about graffiti artists, DJs, and graffiti artists. It's about all of us and how we really took over the whole world with our culture.
And I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out. And last but not least, what is the Hip Hop Architecture Camp? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Hip Hop Architecture Camp, I use all that experience I just talked about, all the projects I'm working on, and I teach young kids about architecture. So I let them tap into their own cultural genius and turn it into architecture. And then I bring celebrities with me. So we have people like Angela Yee. We've had NLE Chopper, representing the younger generation. We bring artists to echo what it is that I'm saying, that our environments are important, and we should have people who are building better places and spaces for us to be all that we can be.
Nice. And where can they find you on social media?
Yo, you can find me on IG. Follow me. I'll follow you back. The Hip Hop Architect.
And can I get you to say the phrase today, the famous phrase, catch these compliments?
Yo, catch these compliments.
I'm here with one of the architects of H. Sonoma, and I definitely want her to introduce herself and just tell us a little bit about what you do.
Thank you. My name is Brittany Guillory. I am the Vice President of H. Sonoma. I have my own company, Art Fiend, and I also work for the largest owned and operated African-American architecture and interior design firm, Moody Nolan, where I am a project manager. So very happy to be here. Very happy to be partnering with Bighani and catch these compliments. And yeah, looking forward to it.
And let me ask you this. How has hip-hop influenced your career in architecture and design?
Hip-hop. So growing up in Houston, we got a lot of pioneers here. So just being able to physically go to shows, see a lot of our hip-hop acts and hip-hop pioneers actually be in architecture and development. We got Slim Thug, we got Trey, The Truth. We got a lot of our hip-hop artists and rappers actually being staples in the community and actually giving back on the architecture and development side. So very impactful.
Yes, very. And big shout out to Slim Thug, definitely a fan favorite. And let me ask you this, where can they find you on social media?
So you can find me on social media at ArtFiend on Instagram, or you can go to my website, www.artfiend.com, and yeah.
And can I get you to say catch these compliments?
You better catch these compliments.
How has this experience been for you today?
It's been wonderful. I mean, to see so many people of color interested in health and wellness and understanding how that relates to design and holistically, I just think it's a wonderful event.
I have to agree with you.
Hip-hop music is an improvisational art form. And there are a lot of architects who also improvise. As a matter of fact, the Prairie View Architecture building was designed in part as a reflection of jazz music on the facade. And the architect who did that was trying to relate to African American culture through improvisation by reflecting jazz music through the design of the facade. So it can relate to architecture in a lot of meaningful ways.
Well, thank you so much. We are here again for the Catch These Compliments event. Can I get you to say the phrase, catch these compliments?
Catch these compliments.
Thank you so much. You're rocking out with the blue brand. Let's talk about the whole realm of architect. We just kind of had a brief conversation on it. How important is events like this to showcase what an architect is and just the field itself?
I think it's really important. The biggest thing that I think you get out of something like this is exposure. You get to see somebody that you may not have realized was in that type of profession. You learn a little bit more about what that profession entails. I know for me growing up, I grew up in Brooklyn. I didn't grow up around anybody that looked like me that was in this profession. So I just kind of luckily matriculated into it. But I think events like this allow an opportunity to bring together something we're very familiar with, which is hip hop, with something that we're not so familiar with, which is architecture and development. And those are spaces that we can aspire to be a part of as well, that pay well and create a good life for us.
Well, I can say that I definitely enjoy the keynote speakers. Just like you said, I didn't grow up knowing one architect that was like me.
Right.
Okay, so this is really important and fascinating to see. What was one of your favorite things of the Catch These Compliments event?
Man, I mean, besides myself being on the panel earlier, I have to say the keynote was really incredible. It was very eye-opening. Just even for me as a person that's in the development and architecture space, seeing how they were able to get that project done with the Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx, and getting to hear a little bit more of the story of how they're taking that and educating the youth on how hip-hop can be implemented into the design process for architecture. I think it's very interesting. I'm looking forward to trying to get my son in one of those camps. So I think that was very, very, very eye-opening for me, for sure.
Absolutely, I said the same thing. So it's the Blue brand, Miss Blue, and we are out here catching these compliments, and I'm having a great time. Nice to meet you. I'm Miss Blue Radio Show representing for 953 Jams, the Blue brand, and I'm here with the designer from the Catch These Compliments event today, and we have to talk about what you do and let people know where they can find you on social media in the end.
Okay, so Xavier Killikelly. I am an audiovisual designer. I work with Bose Corporation, and what I do is I basically design the audiovisual elements for stadiums, restaurants, clubs, you name it. And what I do for Catch These Compliments, I was blessed to be here. My company, Bose, actually sponsored the event, and it's been great. It's been great being here, for sure.
Nice. Now, I've seen you around. I've had so much fun. Tell me what was one of the things that you really enjoyed about the Catch These Compliments event tonight?
For me, I was just really inspired to hear everyone's story, from the architects to the women that got on stage and just shared their journeys. I think that, whenever you're around successful people that look like you kind of like embrace their struggle as your own, right? And it just pushes you to want to go forward and do a lot more. So for me, I love the stories from the architects, obviously, but the teachers as well, man. Talking about the students and what they did to put this artwork up on stage, it was just an amazing thing. So this whole experience has been amazing for me. I'm just glad to be here.
Yes, me too. And hip hop plays such a big part. It's actually hip hop's 50-year anniversary. So I saw tonight they talked about hip hop and architect. How important do you think hip hop is in terms of architect?
Yeah, hip hop is the backbone to everything, right? If you look at any culture around the world, around the globe, hip hop plays some part in everybody's journey. And I think that the more we incorporate what our culture is, right, what makes us special, not as black people, but as minority individuals that embrace this culture, the more we intertwine that with our work, the more unique and the more we get to speak our voices. And so I think architecture and hip hop play a major part of my life, right? It's what I do, and what I work in, but I think everyone could say the same, that it goes hand in hand, right? These people.
I learned a lot today. Now, where can they find you on social media?
For sure. So my Instagram is Cali_XK, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Xavier Killikelly at Bose.com.
I don't know about you, but today I was catching these compliments. What about you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Got a lot of compliments, got a lot of love, so I'm happy to be here, for sure.
Well, y'all heard it here. It's your girl, Miss Blue, the Blue brand. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Blue Radio Show.
Executive Director for H-Noma. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. We have put in a lot of work and a lot of hours to put on this amazing event, but I'm just so happy to be here.
She has been working very hard, y'all, but y'all did such an amazing job. It's hip hop's 50th year anniversary. How do you feel about that in terms of doing this along with the architect?
Man, I love music, so representing and talking about 50 years of hip hop is just impactful. And it was really neat because I'm not in the field of architecture, so seeing the intersection of something that we all can appreciate, which is architecture, because we go into a million types of buildings, every day. And then just hip hop, like, we're the culture, so it's a vibe.
What does Catch These Compliments mean for you?
Catch these compliments mean for me, it's very empowering because, if you're having a bad day, everybody can appreciate a compliment. So that's what I think it means.
That's true. Same for me, because I was out here catching these compliments, and I'm going to compliment you right here. You're beautiful. I love your big boss energy, and you did such a great job as an executive director. And where can we find you on social media?
Oh, so my other job, my day job is I'm a realtor, so you can find me at Close with K, HTX.
And y'all can follow me at Miss Blue Radio Show _ on Instagram.
Nikki Washington. I'm the current president of the Houston chapter of NOMA, National Organization of Minority Architects. And as Ms. Blue just said, we just wrapped up our second year, but our first year hosting Catch These Compliments here in Houston, celebrating the Architecture Edition.
Let me tell you something. The energy in the room all day has been crazy. What were two of your favorite moments from Catch These Compliments?
Oh man, there are so many. But one of my favorites that sticks out to me was the artist feature, because it was a chance they didn't know that they were going to be on stage. They didn't know I was going to ask them questions. Like, all we put on the itinerary was featured artists. So just having them on the stage and be able to tell their story, the inspiration behind their artistry, and to just hear the connection between two of the artists, between Brittany and Miss Cheryl DeVasquez, who was Brittany's professor, and to see the emotion that came from just them feeling that connection, and having Brittany's former professor not even realize the art she was appreciating was her former students. Like, I really resonated and enjoyed just hearing them talk about why they do what they do and how they express it in art form.
And hip hop turned 50 years old this year. How much does that play along with Architect?
I mean, it goes along with what we do and who we are as creatives. We are inspired by so many things. We're not just inspired by the people in the history books, right? We're not just inspired by the built environment. We are inspired by music. And having Michael Ford come and talk about that joint between hip hop and architecture, and how lyrics can transform into the built environment, and how you can reinterpret songs and the culture into a space that people inhabit and can experience. I mean, that is what we do. We build spaces that people can experience, not just go, one time and then leave and have no connection to it. And so for us, this connection seems natural. It feels natural because it is natural. We grew up on hip hop. We live hip hop. This is our culture. And to be able to celebrate that in what we do in our daily lives was just amazing.
And where can we find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me Mickey.Washington22.
Hey, I love it.
Someone else already took my name. I don't know how that happened.
I hate that. Well, thank you so much. Hey, I don't know about you, but I was catching these compliments all night long. It's been an amazing event to be a part of. Follow me on social media at Miss Blue Radio Show _ on Instagram. I'm in the building for Catch These Compliments. It's been an amazing event. I got DJ Elevated in the building with me. Okay, elevated means high up. Okay, that's a really big deal. But tell me tonight what Catch These Compliments meant for you.
I think Catch These Compliments was a full circle moment for me. Specifically, this one deals with architecture and design. And my background is architecture design. I got my bachelor's and master's from Prairie View. And also, one of my professors was in the building. And so to be able to find my way in architecture and design through fabrication, but then also to be able to hold on to DJing and to progress that over the years, and to see it kind of come together in an event like this, I mean, I can't ask for nothing else.
Well, let me ask you this. It's been a pretty fun but wild night toward the end. What was two of your favorite moments of Catch These Compliments?
Two of my favorite moments, I would say, the recognition of the children, and the panel with Vasquez and the brother that's teaching, the commitment to children is very important, especially, as professionals in our various fields, whether that be architecture, design, media, entertainment, whatever it may be, you know, really pouring into them and being intentional about their development and what do you call it? You know, sparking their creativity and really pouring into the things that they enjoy. I think that that's important. So that's one. The other one, I would have to say, really just seeing my peers that I went to school with sustaining in this industry and becoming leaders in the industry. You know, a lot of the people that were involved in putting this together, even some people on the panel, those are all people that I went to school with. And so, you know, to be able to see us, you know, 12 years, 13 years later, and we're still active and we're progressing and we're leaders in our field, I think that was definitely one of the better parts of the evening.
Hey, he's very well put together, y'all. If somebody wants to find you on social media, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at DJ Elevated. Also, I'm a part of a collective called Soul Control. We specialize in movement-based healing, and we help to shape this dance culture that Houston is now enjoying. So yeah, y'all can follow me at Soul Control, also movementbasedhealing.com.
Hey, and it's your girl, Miss Blue, repping for the Blue brand.